You may proceed. You all right, Mr. Smith? All right, bring the election commissioner in.
Your Honor, the commission is in the courtroom.
If you all would you stand, please? I need you to stand. Just raise your right hand. Now, the statute provides that you all are to assist the court as an advisory panel. And I know that you will do that, but I need to ask you, do each and every one of you solemnly swear or affirm that you will well listen to the testimony in this case and assist the court as the court may deem necessary? If you do, say I do. I do. All right, you all may be seated. The other thing I will say to those of you that are concerned about this case, a number of you all are in the courtroom, you need to make sure that your phone is off. Make sure that your phone is off. If it goes off in this courtroom, the first two rings is $100 a ring. After that, it's $75. So make sure your phones are off. Now, to my election commissioner, now, I don't know how much testimony we're going to have in this case, but I don't want any of you all sitting there in discomfort. Now, I've got 6 grandkids, and when my youngest grandchild says, "Papa, I gotta go," she's not talking about 15 minutes later. She's talking about right then and there. She's got to go. So if you got to go, and somebody's on the stand, just throw your hand up. We'll take a short recess. Fair enough? Okay. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, Your Honor.
You got the floor. Mr. Martin, you said you had something you wanted to take up?
I didn't make a motion.
Okay, what's your motion?
You know, I want to thank the court for the court's indulgence to allow Mr. Smith the day to get back in town for a trip to D.C.
Well, I hate Mr. Smith came back in. Okay, but you got it. Go ahead.
You know, we at this time make an oral tenure motion to dismiss the petition filed by Mr. Archie. The petition is MEC number 59, but it's first in sequence. And the petition, as I reviewed it thoroughly in preparation for the trial, has never been amended or altered or changed. And the petition is brought by counsel pursuant to 23-15-927. And I have a copy of the statute for your honor as well as opposing counsel. May I approach?
You may.
And the second paragraph, page 2, midway down, 23-15-927. The petition for judicial review must be filed within 10 days after any contest or complaint has been filed with the executive committee. That issue has already been addressed, taken up by Supreme Court. The next sentence is the one that concerns me. The petition for judicial review shall not be filed unless it bears the certificate of 2 practicing attorneys stating that they have each fully made an independent investigation to the matters of fact and law upon which the petition and protest are based, and that after the investigation they believe that the petition and protest should be sustained and that the relief prayed for in the protest and petition should be granted. The 2 attorneys may not be practicing in the same firm. The petition should give a cost bond of $300, and surely, Your Honor, in this case, Mr. Archie's petition was filed by attorney Benita Garrison Levitt, but there is no certificate of compliance with the statute as required by 23-15-927. Even if the court were to construe her signature as of counsel, it's still only 1 attorney. The statute requires 2 attorneys, not in the same firm, to certify that they have investigated both the facts and the law and have made a determination there's a good faith basis to bring this petition. That was not done. And so courts require strict compliance with the statute, and as a result, that was not done. I've looked at it, this petition has not been amended at all, and as a result, the petition should be denied.
Mr. Wilson?
Your Honor, I ask the court to take judicial notice of Mississippi Supreme Court case number 2023-AP-1003. And the reason I ask the court to take judicial notice of that is because on the day the petition was filed, Mr. Wallace and Mr. Smith, Archie, my client, went to the Supreme Court of Mississippi to notify them of the filing of this petition, and they filed a true and correct copy of the petition with the Supreme Court. And on the last 2 pages of that filing of the Supreme Court, we have the certificates in question. And I have them right here, and I've given them to Mr. Now, if he wonders why they may not be in the court file.
Okay, let's cut through this. The motion is denied.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, you all have notepads. You can take notes, whatever you want to. You understand your notes are not binding on me, but you can take notes if you need to review them. They just be for your personal benefit. You understand that? Okay. All right. Mr. Wilson, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Before I call the first witness, I just wanted the court to note that on 221 in document number 169, I identified for a marked by identification 30 video exhibits. They have not been admitted into evidence yet, but I just wanted to, whenever I reference an exhibit number here, I
That will be fine.
Thank you. And if you'll made the court reporter, and I've given him a copy of this, if you'll made the court reporter, I can go ahead and give him a copy of what was filed in EC this week.
That's fine.
Now,
Have you given Mr. Warren a copy?
it's right.
Okay.
Judge, this time we will ask the court to take judicial notice of the official results from the August 8th, 2023 primary election.
I will take.
Obviously, we object to those, the merits of those results, but as they are stated for you.
Okay. Give it to King. It's your show, Mr. Wilson. Whenever
Well,
you're
thank
ready.
you very much, Your Honor. Let me get the video here set up just for a second, because I'll be using some video evidence here from Mr. Clark. Okay. I am ready for my first witness, Your Honor. I'd like to call Mr. Jamar Clark. Jamar.
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark, I apologize for mispronouncing your first name. Jamil. Okay. I apologize.
Mr. Clark, you all assist Mr. Clark in getting him up here. Take your time. Mr. Clark, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. All right, you may have a seat.
Judge, this time we ask that the rule be invoked.
You have any witnesses in the courtroom?
No, I don't. I will say this. I was advised by the bailiff that they have a bailiff found the circuit clerk, Mr. Wallace. He would be my next witness. But apart from that, I think nobody in the courtroom is here.
You don't have
Other than
if Mr. Ross
Damien, do you have that? Okay. It might be CFO. I'm trying to. Did you cut that knife? Did you cut it off?
Yeah, he just turned it off. His CFO, he can just turn it around. He needs to see. Just keep speaking, he can turn it on.
you just turned down whenever we. You good to go? Okay. You may proceed.
thank you. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Jamil Clark.
And Mr. Clark, where are you presently employed?
I am a Hinds Tabulation Committee
Okay? And Mr. Clark, in 2023, what was your, August of 23, what was your occupation? Commissioner, okay. Mr. Clark, did you have any participation in the 2023 Democratic primary for District 2?
The primary was always run by the executive, Democratic, and primary, and Republican executive committee.
Okay.
We assisted in some cases.
You assist in some cases, but in this case, did you ever have occasion to possess any materials related to the election?
Yes.
Okay. What materials did you possess from the election?
After the election night, and after the media sticks or the USBs are collected and tabulated and sent to after the tabulation, after the night's over, those USBs go into the circuit clerk's vault. And about 10, 12 days afterwards, somewhere there, those USBs come back to the election commission, and as well as the material that's involved in the election, such as supply bags, ballot bags, and machines. They all come back within a certain period of time after the tabulation and the election has been certified, which are roughly around 10, 12, 13, 14 days to be recalibrated and recalculated for the runoff election, if there is one.
Now, did the Election Commission administer the Democratic primary election, or was that administered by the Executive Committee?
It is administered by the Executive Committee.
Okay. All right. So, to your knowledge, was there any contract between the two of you for the two agencies for the commission to actually do the election?
I can't quite remember, but there might have been a 23-15-266 agreement between the committee and the election commission to do certain aspects of the election.
But you don't have a copy of that contract with you today, do you?
I don't.
Okay. Now, let me, I've got some video evidence from, first of all, when they had the, I guess it was a contest or a recount of some sort in later in the week, or later in the month, you were you not around the other parties and various people and videos were made while, let me rephrase the question. Did you have occasion to meet with Mr. Archie and Mr. Smith and their respective teams sometime in August after the election to go over the results?
No.
Okay. Did you have
Not that I recall.
Not that I recall. All right, let me just refresh you. With the court's indulgence, Your Honor.
You have.
This is going to be marked for Exhibit 5, Plaintiff's Exhibit 5. See if you recognize this video. You should be able to see it on the screen right there or over here.
This now is really is possession of the jump drive. That's what we'd like to know. When did you get possession of the jump drive? What is yesterday for the government?
I don't know. That's for security.
One moment, I think we're. Oh, there we go. Do you see yourself in this video, sir? Fast forward a bit just so that you can see yourself so you can identify people in this video. Mr. Clark, that is you in this video, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I'm going to play the video and ask you to tell me if that is something that comports with your memory, okay?
I don't know if that's for security sake. office.
Yeah. All right.
That was after the election.
Your Honor, I ask this be admitted, like exhibit number 5.
No, Judge, it's in Ms. Marie's side. It's not just Commissioner Clark's statement. There are other statements on the video that constitute.
Is that your objection?
Yes, sir.
Your
Your
Honor,
objection, we go overruled, let, it'll be admitted into evidence,
Thank you,
that's
Your Honor.
exhibit 5.
it's exhibit 5, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now, at this point, we're talking about the media sticks. Now, Mr. Clark, when I first started taking this case, people were saying media sticks, and I didn't know what they're talking about. Would you mind explaining to the judge and everyone else what media sticks are?
Media sticks they are the thumb drives that are inserted into at that time, the DS200 tabulating machine.
Okay.
And they are taken out at the end. They're inserted in the LNA, the larger than accuracy testing, by the providers, ES&S, that program machines for the election. And on election night, when they bring the tabulation, the USBs or the media sticks out of the voting machines into the courthouse to be tabulated and counted, and as far as the results of each machine that's posted on the board for everyone to see.
Okay. Now, this obviously is not one of those flash drives. It's just one of these flash drives that I have on my desk. But when you're talking about a flash drive, you're talking about something similar to this.
Yes.
Something you could get at Walmart or something like that, right? Or anywhere. Okay.
Not these particular ones.
I understand. I get what you're saying. But it's that basic technology.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I'm understanding this correctly, these flash drives contain, well, the election results. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. So it's very important that the election results being, well, I mean, if they're a digital media, in theory, somebody somewhere can alter them if you don't secure them. Is that right?
Possibly.
Okay, very good. Let's move to the next video here. Oh, wait. Where did you get those flash drives? Where did you get them from?
They come from, we ordered them from ES&S,
Okay.
and these thumb drives are encrypted.
Okay. Okay. Now, the next question I have is this. The specific thumb drives that have the data on them, okay, where did you acquire those specific thumb drives with the data on them?
The thumb drives came back from the circuit clerk's office when we got them, which was after the election. They were stored in the vault. And after all of the election data, the absentee data, the data on the thumb drives, the affidavit ballots are calculated, and they are counted in the circuit clerk's office by the resolution board. And after the tabulation has been certified, the materials, as I stated earlier, come back to the election commission.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the resolution board. That's a term that's new to me. Would you explain to me what a resolution board does?
The resolution board meets and they tabulate they count the absentee ballots as well as the affidavit ballots that is the result of the election.
Okay. All right. So, and why is it called a resolution? I mean, what are they trying to resolve?
They resolve the ballots, and sometimes the ballots are not countable because they may get squished or jammed in the machine. They may have somebody might have marked incorrectly. So the resolution board get those ballots and they duplicate them. They look at the intent of the voter. They duplicate the ballot. They make marks on the ballot according to the original ballot was stapled together, and after they counted, run it through the DS200 machine, and it's tabulated.
Okay. Let's move to our next. Oh. I say move to my next exhibit. Let me ask you this other question. When exactly did you receive the thumb drives?
I don't know exactly the exact date, but as I stated earlier, it's after the tabulation has been done, which mostly is about 10 days or more after the election.
Okay. Now, did you keep any type of written log to identify, okay, well, I got this at such and such time and write it down, and then I gave it to this person at such and such time? Did you have a log like that for these?
No.
Okay. All right. And did you have any log that would indicate the number of times the bag was opened or closed that had flash drives in them?
No.
Okay. Of course not. Now, Mr. Clark, was the bag that contains the flash drives sealed in any way?
Yes.
Okay. Describe the seal for me.
The seals are about so long, they're red, and they're inserted into a secure snap that is attached to the bag itself.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you mentioned them because I've got a video of you holding the bag. Let's talk about the importance of a seal. Why do we have to have a seal on the bag?
Because it's legislated by law,
Okay.
by statute.
Well, obviously that goes back to, when I was a kid, my mom said, because I said so. And that's important enough. But what is the reason behind having a seal?
So it won't be pretty much tampered with until it's ready to be opened.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to point the court's attention to Plaintiff's Exhibit 6.
Are you ready to do it? Yes. Excuse me. We just want to record who the treatment from. Oh, no keys, okay. So they're not back here. You just give me keys from back there. He don't necessarily have his keys. We just want to know where. Okay, all right, here you go. Okay, so, you can tell us what this is. Go ahead.
All right, first of all, do you recognize that video?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And was that bag the bag that contained the flash drives?
Yes,
Okay. All right, asking this to be admitted at Plaintiff's Exhibit.
but let me explain further, if you don't mind. The bag had come to our office, as I stated to you earlier, after it had been tabulated and counted at the circuit clerk's office.
Okay.
They came back with the other material that came from the circuit clerk's office for us, the commissioners, to prepare for the next runoff election if there happens to be one. That bag that you saw me drawer was secure, but they had already been tabulated. And as I stated before, the USB is all encrypted. There's nothing that I can do or anyone else can do with it.
Okay, let's take a look. Ask that be admitted to Exhibit 6.
Just want to have an objection in addition to hearsay. I want to have an objection as authentication.
Okay, it's noted for the record,
Yes,
for the
sir.
record, it's overruled. Is that Exhibit 6?
That is Exhibit 6. All right. Now, let's take a look at Exhibit 7. Actually, just one moment. As we looked at that exhibit a while ago, this is Plaintiff's Exhibit 7.
I'm going to place them back and lock them up. So we'll go ahead and do that. Lock them up. We're going to take a picture and lock them up. I'm not video. I'm saying, we're not going to take a picture. You just video. Jamel Clark. That's his name. Commissioner. Listen. Commissioner.
Commissioner Jamel Clark, District 3.
Thank you so much. Commissioner.
Clerk.
All right.
All right. Now, Mr. Clark, in this video, do you remember this video?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And they gave you this video, they gave you the bag Mr. Wallace did at the end, and you put it back in your drawer. Is that right? Okay. Now, at the very beginning of the video, you see the bag is open. Do you see any possible, I don't see any seals attached to that bag.
First of all, the bag I see there is orange. The bag that I got out of my drawer is red.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, what we need to do is perhaps play the full video that these clips came from. That video, Your Honor, is about 25 minutes, just to let you know. It might be better to be admitted through the circuit clerk.
It's your show, you put it in any way you want to.
You can consult counsel. Just
Judge, can I have a continuing objection as to all these videos based on impossible hearsay and authentication?
Your objection is noted for the record. For the record, it's overruled. You gonna put it in through this witness?
Yes, Your Honor, right now, it's the 24-minute video of, because all this stuff is clips from that video.
Mr. Clark, Mr. Owens, would you please, we have to get a bad voice. So would you please ask Mr. Clark if he would inform us how did he get in possession of the
Start off that the Democratic Party do have a contract with the District Commissioner's Office. Any arrangement that is still not kind of capital to the District Commissioner's Office. And they were canceling affidavits and other things on the next day. So the question is now is when is in possession of the jump drive. And that's what we'd like to know. When did you get possession of the jump drive for the next day of that office?
I don't know that's what security safety. I told them, and they have to sort of want to get it all over the place. That's what security safety.
Okay, well, then, Mr. Zach, what you ask him, if I can see him in it, and if the bag is sealed, if the bag is sealed, and do you only have the one for issue 2, or you have alternate?
So what we'd like to do is I like to thank Mr. Clark. We
we just want to report we retrieve them from it. Oh, no keys, okay. So they're not back here. You just give your keys from back here. You don't want us to see where his keys. We just want to know where. Okay, all right, here you go. Okay, so, you can tell us what this is. Go ahead. So, it's our understanding that it is real bad. It's on of the votes in perhaps Hinds County. We don't know if it's just District 2, District 3, 4, 5, but it is done all that. Do you know his last name? Ma'am, his name, Bill. All right, and so, now you can ask questions about that.
There's also legal, that every district, and so,
And what about a seal? No seal on the bags. And these, but
okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use your word.
But the deal of it is that these are the same media sticks that were posted on the night of the election. What you see in there when you saw on the night of the election. So that's right.
Mr. Secretary, Clerk, I just want to ask you, no seals what on this bag, thumb drive? No seal. And the other question I'm going to ask is that after the election, who's supposed to be in possession of those thumb drives and jump drives, whatever you want to call it? Who's supposed to be in possession? Is it supposed to be passed
Oh, hold up.
or some?
Hold up.
What? My objection is you got Mr. Archie testifying in this room. My objection is this is inadmissible hearsay. It's an out-of-court statement off which you've got to say. You're letting them put this in, and he has not been sworn.
Your objection is,
I understand.
you made the record. Let's move on. Your objection's overruled.
Be in possession and take these thumb drives.
starts off with 10:53 a.m. August 17th, time zone America, Chicago. The thermostat is not detected. So, I don't believe that we ought to have a take that.
Let's say that again.
This is hardware configuration. Hardware configuration. It says the configuration report was done August 17th at 2023, August 17th.
August 17th was the first, because we last session came out after chief voted August 17th, to make an assumption now something may be totally wrong.
Okay.
That's the third sheet. That's why I don't have any actual.
Okay.
No,
What you write down is 0111335. Yes, ma'am. So, let's try to find out what's going on here. This one says receipt number 107. Okay. This is the name on August 17th. Would you get this? It says election day, August 8th, poll open day, August 17th, poll open time, 10:59 a.m. So this would have to be, protected count is 2,985. And it's supposed to be a zero report, but zero reports are generally generated between 6:30 and 6:45 in the morning. So you're thinking that this is, well, I'll tell y'all know what's on my case. Oh, help us, Lord.
Certification took place.
So wait, what? Okay, let's get back to the public voice. And let's see, we did it with District 5, where we're going to include. So I'm not, this is also zero report. We don't do this for sure. It's some sort of. But here's the thing, the reason I did that, to ask you what it was, I had not had to take all this entire process, no zero and no intakes.
Oh, sorry.
So when I see a tape, of course I'm gonna ask exactly which tape it is. But we just hadn't had any tapes the whole process. So this did not be all the tapes for the election. And also when I asked you for clarification, you said that the whole, this process, you have authority over this building and the other. But according to our process for ballot activity, all of the material is supposed to be in one location, you know where it is. Thank you. Do you not know what it is? And then also I'd like us to pull out. Is it possible, I mean, on Monday, we could just pull out the one that pertains to his,
Just separate the ones by district, pull up all the district
video, do you recall being present when this video was made?
I do.
Okay. And was that you in the video retrieving the bag from your drawer?
It was.
And does that video fairly and accurately depict what you were doing on that day, during that 24-minute period?
It sure does.
Okay. And that is a video of you putting the bag back in your drawer, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Then, Your Honor, I'd ask this to be admitted to evidence as Exhibit 1.
Any objection?
Just ask for a continuing objection. Ask for a continuing objection, remember? I asked for a continuing objection as to all.
Oh, you have that.
Yes, sir.
It's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do appreciate that.
You did say that was exhibit 1.
Exhibit 1, yes, Your Honor.
Judge,
What you need?
Maybe he wants to approach for just a second.
Approach?
Yes.
You can't state it from?
Well, we can,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to, just as a matter of record for his continuing objection, these statements on the video express sense impression. I know the class at the time saying what was going on. I know the court has overruled his objection, but just for the record, I just want to put that in the record.
even with the hearsay, they still don't object, they still don't address.
I've already-
Regarding the rule, I just want to make a continuing objection.
I've already ruled
Yes,
on it.
thank you, Your Honor.
So let's move on.
Yes, sir. Now, you previously testified that it was important for bags to be sealed to prevent tamper, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And he also made a distinction between a red bag and an orange bag. But was that the same bag from start to finish?
Yes, sir. And let me say one thing. When I first saw it, I did think it was red. Not only I thought it was red, Ms. Walker stated in the video that it was red also.
I understand.
So, and after looking at it, and when the camera angle got closer to it, it is, I think it's orange.
That's the problem with cameras sometimes. They look different colors when you look at them. That's right. And no fault, no problem there, sir. Now, when you looked at that, was there any seal on that bag that you saw?
No, there was no seal on that bag.
Okay. And when you took the bag back with the flash drives and put it back in the drawer, there was no seal on the bag.
That's correct.
Okay. And did you ever put a seal back on that bag, to your recollection?
No,
Okay.
not to my recollection.
Who did you give the bag finally to?
As I told you earlier, the bag, I don't know what date that was, but that was after the election in our election commission's office. And from what I'm hearing, it was on a Friday because she said to Mr. Williams, have a nice weekend.
Okay.
So the bag that I opened came from the circuit clerk's office after the election was over.
Okay. But that does imply, though, that at least for the 24 minutes we saw in this video, there was no seal on that bag.
No, it was not.
And when you received the bag, there was no seal.
No,
Okay. And when you delivered the bag back to whomever you delivered it to, there was no seal.
no.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Mr. Clark,
Yes, sir.
had the ballots already been tabulated
Yes, sir.
at that time?
Yes, as I stated earlier, we got those bags at least 10 days or so. The election was on the 8th, that tabulation for the resolution board counting the absentees and the affidavit was on the 17th. So when it was after that day that we got those bags, after the 17th.
Okay. Now, having said that, well, never mind, let me withdraw that question and save it for another witness. As we're looking at that bag, there were flash drives from other districts, is that right?
Sure.
Okay. So you would agree that there was commingling of those drives?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the bag included some machine tape, right?
So,
Okay. But not all machine tape?
no. But in the media bag that's stored in the vault, each district has a bag. As a matter of fact, the district that Ms. Walker was looking at was precinct 76, which is not in Supervisor at that time, Archie's district.
Now, why is the machine tape important?
Because it gives a record of what went on during that election day per that machine.
Okay? All right. Now, walk us through the steps on that. I heard something about zero tape. What is zero tape?
You heard something about zero tape, and you also heard Circuit Clerk Wallace say protection tape. The zero tape indicates that, first of all, let's step back to LNA. LNA is the testing that the contractor provided us to validate and to certify that these machines on the zero tape indicate there's no votes on it. The protected count indicates that if you go to a gasoline station, you're pumping gas, you see how many gallons you pump, right? And at the bottom you see continuing numbers running. That tells you the numbers of gallons that was serviced on that machine since this was installed, since this installation. So the same thing works with the voting machine. The zero tape is called public count, and that's zero when it starts. That means no votes for any candidate on the machine when it opens for voting at 7 o'clock.
Okay, so for my edification, it's basically a calibration to make sure the machine hasn't already got some votes tabulated in it before you start running the votes in the day. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
In simple terms. Now, what I don't understand, and maybe you can shed some light on this, why would there be some tapes for some sticks in that bag, but not tapes for every stick in that bag? I don't understand. If they are so important, why weren't they all kept together?
Well, because there are 108 precincts, and I don't know in terms of, because I didn't handle the bag, I just received the
I
bag.
understand.
So as far as how and why, there were not all 108 zero tapes, and when you look at it, there's more than just a tape in there. There's an opening tape, which is the zero tape, and there's a closing tape. The closing tape has all of the election voters, vote of the candidates at the end of the day when the machine closes.
Now, you don't have this bag anymore, access to this bag?
No, I don't. We didn't have access to the bag because at that particular time, the media bags, the tapes are pulled, the USBs are pulled out of the media bag, and the opening and the closing tapes, for the most part, remain or maintained in that bag.
Okay.
And they're kept in the vault at the circuit clerk's office.
Okay, so it's your testimony the circuit clerk has this stuff and not the election commission.
Not until after the elections is over. That's when we get everything back.
Okay. Now, this was a primary election, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure, not a general one, because if this were a general election, y'all would be doing the election pretty much from start to
By law.
finish. By law, that's right. It's
Or
exactly-
any special election.
any special election, but this is not the case here. This was a primary election.
Absolutely.
So the only reason that you would have been able to have access to this stuff would have been if the Democratic Party and y'all had entered into some sort of an agreement. Is that fair to say?
Both parties.
Both parties? I see. Okay. But you don't have a copy of that contract?
Now,
Okay. With the court's indulgence. Are you the one that typically receives, drives on behalf of the election commission?
no, we take turns.
Oh, you take turns? Okay.
It's not just designated to one person.
Okay. All right. Just to recap, I think I may be about done with you. As a general rule, if there is a bag that contains the election material, regardless of whether it's been tabulated or not, if there's no seal there subsequent changes from that point. Is that fair to say?
Overruled.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
On the night of the election, each of those media sticks that you saw in that bag was taken out that night, tabulated into the DS200, placed on the board so that everyone can see it. That's the process. And after all of the precincts are in, all of the media sticks are counting for, that's it. Like I said, the sticks are encrypted. There's no way that I know of, and I'm not a computer expert or anything, that sticks can be tampered with.
Now, when you do, let me ask you this question. When the Election Commission conducts an election, there's a recapitulation that's done.
Recapitulation sheet.
Took me forever to learn how to pronounce that word. But
Recapitulation.
And so when the Election Commission conducts an election, y'all sign that and certify that to the Secretary?
No, we don't sign the primary because that's left up to the Democratic Executive Committee and the Republican Executive Committee to sign the recapitulation sheet. That's their task by law.
Okay, but my question though is if there's a contract that transfers the responsibility of the election to y'all, wouldn't y'all be the one to sign the
No,
recapitulation?
we're not.
Okay.
We don't.
Why is that?
Because it's by law, statute is that it is the Democratic and the Republican Executive Committee's election. So we sign an agreement to do certain aspects of the election, not sign the recapitulation sheet. That's their job.
Okay? But let me break it down like this. How can the committee certify to the Secretary of State that the recapitulation is correct if, speaking hypothetically, the Election Commission is the party that actually did the conducted the election?
It's authorized by the Secretary of State that we, in the agreement 23-15-266, the agreement that we signed with the parties to do certain aspects, not to sign. It is not our duty nor our responsibility to sign the recapitulation sheet.
Okay.
That's their responsibility.
All right, very good. Let me confer with counsel and see if I've got it. Mr. Clark, the court asked you earlier about whether the votes had been tabulated when you received the bag. Okay. Now, if the bag is not sealed upon your receipt of the bag, how can you swear under oath that all of these thumb drives were actually true and correct at that time? How can you? Is what I'm asking.
Your objection noted for the record, it's overruled. You may answer if you know.
As I stated earlier, on election night, each one of those thumb drives are tabulated in the public, before the public, and placed on the screen so everyone can see what vote each candidate got. They are tabulated right then and there in front of the public.
Okay, but how do you know that a particular flash drive, let's say for making up district, precinct number 10, is actually put into the computer and tabulated and then put into that bag? How would you know that?
I would know that because they take it out of the media bag that comes into the courthouse on election night. Mr. Archie saw and seen every bag that had a thumb drive in it that was tabulated before his eyes on election night.
The thumb drives, do they have serial numbers on them?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You guess so?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I have numbers on them.
your knowledge?
That's the process.
Well, apparently not, because didn't you have,
Objection argument.
Objection sustained. Let's move on.
did you testified a while ago that you don't have logs of any time, of when you opened that bag and closed that bag?
I didn't say it was in the laws, I said I didn't have any seal.
Okay, all right, but do you have any logs? Did you document any stuff taken out or being put back in that bag?
No, I did not.
Okay. If there's no, so you would agree with me though that there is no complete chain of custody from, in other words, if we wanted right this minute to start from the date of the election to this very moment, by virtue of the fact that those flash drives were put in your drawer without any log, without any seal, the chain of custody is broken. Would you agree with me?
No.
Okay. But you would agree with me that at least for the time the flash drives were in your drawer, there were no seals on that bag.
Mr. Wilson, you've made your point. I've
Yes.
heard it several times. Let's
Okay.
move on.
My last question for you. If there's no machine tapes, is there any way for Mr. Archie to cross-reference ballots?
Yes,
How would he do that?
because the machine has a hard drive. Every vote that's tabulated during the 7 o'clock a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. is automatically downloaded in the machine itself. The thumb drive serves as the backup as to what's on the machine. The 0 page in the morning is another record of what's on the machine. And the ending, the closing tape also serves. So you have, as the backup, you have 4 different mechanisms to check and balance the machines and the events that happen on election day that day.
But of course, if we wanted to do that today, we would actually have to have those machines, correct?
You will have to have machines, or at least one machine to tabulate. And let's go back one more step. As far as the resolution board that they said August the 17th, the election was on the 8th. So the resolution board and the county, those absentee ballots as well as the affidavit ballots, the final count went through the tabulation machine that day. So that's where you got that date from.
Okay. Let me confer with my counsel on when that be done. Your Honor, I tender the witness.
Mr. Clark, you've been up for a while. You need to take a bathroom break?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay. We'll be in recess for 15 minutes. We will reconvene. Everyone remain seated. You may step down. Assist him.
Yes.
You all may go. Be seated. All right, we'll reconvene at 10:30. may proceed.
Piece of court. Commissioner Clark, I'm Attorney Martin. You know me from my work in the past with the commission.
Yes, sir.
From your direct testimony, I wrote that you didn't know whether an agreement even existed between Hinds County and the Hinds County Democratic Executive Committee. Is that correct?
Yes, stated earlier.
Right. And you don't know if one existed between Hinds County and the Republican Executive Committee. Is that correct?
I can't recall. There may be one at that particular election, but I can't recall at the moment.
But it's customary for the commission to assist the parties in primary elections like August 2023.
It's customary, but it's not obligatory.
It's not statutorily obligated.
Right.
All right. Now, let's take a step back because Council Opposite didn't go through this. I work with a ton of campaigns. And so on election night, when the polls close at 7 p.m., is it customary for the candidates to have poll watchers in the precincts, in the polls?
Yes.
And what are the purpose, what is your understanding of the purpose of that?
The purpose of the poll watchers is they're there to represent the candidate.
Right. And so the moment the polls close at 7 p.m. or sometime by court order, it could be extended. But whenever they close, the candidates have poll watchers in the precincts at the time of closing, correct?
Most of them do.
All right. And so when the machine downloads and tallies, the candidates' representatives are there real time at the poll closing to see and observe the numbers as they're downloaded. Is that fair?
Those who choose to stay.
Those who choose to see, right? No restrictions by law or by the commission on whether a candidate can have poll watchers in the precinct, right?
It's open election.
Free, fair elections in America. That's the way it works.
Yes, sir.
In this particular election, when you got the media sticks, whatever you got, how did those come to the election commission?
They came to the election commissioner by way of the circuit clerk's office, was transported to the election commission.
So Mr. Wallace's office takes custody of them after the initial download at the precinct. Candidates and their representatives can write down those totals and create real-time math when polls close, right?
Actually, the closing tape as well as the opening tape are placed on the wall. So each person, whether they are a poll watcher or a voter or the candidate, him or herself, can come and look at those opening and closing tapes for themselves.
Printed, posted on the wall.
Yes.
A lot was asked by Council Opposite about this chain of custody with the media sticks and the thumb drives. As I understand it, the media sticks, aren't they encrypted?
Yes, they are.
And isn't there a proprietary software that governs how they work?
Yes.
So if I were to gain access to one of these media sticks, flash drive, and Warren Martin, I would put it in this laptop, what would happen?
It wouldn't work.
And it also would delete the content of the information on the drive, would it not?
I would assume so. I don't.
Wait, hold up. What's the objection?
When he makes an assumption, and he can speak
To his knowledge.
Overruled?
To my knowledge, it would probably do so. It would not allow the content within that thumb drive to be republished.
And why does that proprietary software exist?
To protect the integrity of the election.
So that frivolous claims like this won't be made
Objection, Your Honor.
to attack the outcome of the election.
Hold up, Mr. Martin. Your objection is sustained. It'll be stricken from the record by frivolous.
You saw on the tape, there was a clear Ziploc bag that was taken outside the red orange bag.
Yes.
What was in the content of the Ziploc bag?
set the configuration thumb drives.
Okay.
And these were the thumb drives that configured the aspects of the DS200 at that time to prepare it and to give it the diagnostics of when she was reading the opening, and it tells you everything about that particular machine, and it gives you the time, the date, how the machine is working on that particular day, and then it gets to the zero count. It has the candidates' names on it and goes down by each candidate's name, and it places zero on the side of the candidate name to indicate that there are no votes on that particular table.
Okay.
Hold up, Mr. Clark.
Yes, sir.
I understand you to say that after the polls closed in this election, that the tape was printed and posted on the wall with the tally count of,
Yes,
of
sir.
each candidate.
In every election, the opening tape is placed on the wall, the closing tapes are placed on the wall in each precinct.
Okay.
And again, the purpose of that is for transparency, not only to the candidates, but to the public as well.
To the general public, yes.
Now, back to my line of question with regard to the media sticks and the thumb drives. Once the commission conducts its tally on election night, where do those thumb drives and media drives go?
They go into what we call the media bag, and they're zipped, locked, and sealed, and they,
So let's stop there. Is that the first, because we had a lot of discussion about a seal. Is that the first time a seal is placed on a bag? It's after the tallies are posted on the precincts, after the commission does its tally.
the bags are sealed before that happens.
All right.
The bags are sealed when it gets to the precinct.
Okay. So precinct workers, when they get done putting the tallies on the walls, they put media sticks, jump drives, poll books, they put it all in a bag and they seal it.
At the closing of the election day.
Okay.
Once they get through tallying the information, repacking the material that they brought to take up to bring here to what we call Election Central in the circuit clerk's office.
And those will be the blue bags for Democrats and red bags for Republicans.
Right.
That we see in the basement of this building
Right.
for Mr. Wallace's office.
Right.
So that's why your testimony is when the poll precinct workers, operators, when they get done posting those results, they take those bags to Mr. Wallace's office in the basement.
Correct.
And that's where the seal is placed on the bags, correct?
The seal is placed on the bag at the precinct.
Right. But when they get to Mr. Wallace's office, that seal is still there.
Yes.
And the only people who are allowed to break that seal is who?
All the people who are working the election, the ES&S, the tabulators, the bags, the seal, the bag is brought to the tabulator, which is the contracted ES&S employees. The seal is broken in. They reach into the media bag, pull out the media stick, and put it into the machine to be tabulated.
Right. And those tabulations should total or equate to the tabulations that are left on the precinct walls, correct?
That's correct. If you take that USB today and take it back to the DS200 machine that it was tabulated on, it will show you the same results as what happened on election night.
All right. So, Mr. Wallace, election workers, ES systems workers, and the commissioners are authorized to remove those seals, correct?
Yes.
After those seals are removed, is there any requirement by state law that a seal be placed back on the bag?
Objection. Calls for legal conclusion.
Judge, he asked.
Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is there any requirement by state law that once the seal is removed and the election commissioners do their job, their diligence by statute, is there a requirement that the seal be placed back on the bag?
Not to my knowledge. I don't recall.
So this video where he made all this talk about a seal, and he admitted that that video was some 10 days was polls closed?
Yes, I mean, the polls close officially at 7 o'clock.
Right.
They officially open at 7 o'clock a.m. But the poll, as far as voting is concerned, it could be 12 o'clock that night.
Right. But if on this day,
Yeah.
August 8, 2023, if I represent you, polls close at 7 p.m., that would be consistent as to why we see a tape run at 7:16 p.m.
Yes.
And again, those results are posted on the walls of the precinct.
It represents the last voter. It could be after 7 o'clock, it could be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Then they close the machine, and the machine is going to record what time it actually closed.
You know, my personal witness.
You may. You told me to Mr. Wilson?
This is exhibit D1. I'll show you Commissioner Clark, what's been marked D1. You recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
And that's the, what is it?
The recapitulation sheet.
For the August 8, 2023 Democratic Party, correct?
Yes.
And in that document, Anthony Tony Smith defeated Mr. Archie by a total of, Mr. Smith received 4,687 votes. Mr. Archie received 2,810 votes. Is that correct?
I hadn't looked at the last total page, but if it's in here, it's correct.
All right. And the total of those numbers combined will be 7,497 votes cast. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Were there, on August 8, 2023, were there 8,000 registered Democratic voters in Hinds County District 2?
Say that again.
And on that day, the day in question, were there over 8,000 Democratic registered voters in District 2?
Yes.
And so that total number, 7,497, is an accurate number based on what the commission found from the documents, the media sticks, the thumb drives that it reviewed and certified the race.
Yes.
Any fraud, irregularities that you found at all sufficient enough to affect the outcome of this race?
Objection, Your
Not
Honor.
to my knowledge.
Hold up. What's your objection?
My objection is about sufficient enough. I mean,
Your objection is sustained as to that point.
Mr. Commissioner Clark, can we do some quick math? You just testified Mr. Smith received 4,687 votes. Mr. Archie received 2,810. The difference would be 1,877 votes. Did you find in your review of the materials, thumb drives, media sticks, in certifying this race, any fraud, irregularity sufficient enough to overcome a 1,877 vote difference?
No, I did not find any such reasoning, but as I stated earlier, the election is run by the Democratic and Republican parties, so according to the tabulations that are entered into the Secretary of State's office, this document is filed with the Secretary of State's office. One is filed with the Circuit Clerk's office, and one is filed with the Democratic and Executive Committee chairpersons and committees. So
Those numbers are consistent with what we talked about.
yes, sir.
No fraud sufficient to overcome that vote difference, correct?
No, sir.
And just for the record, media sticks, thumb drives, protected by encrypted software, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Martin, what was those numbers again? 4,000 what?
Mr. Smith received 4,687 votes. Mr. Archie received 2,810 votes for a difference of 1,877 votes.
Redirect.
yes, Your Honor. Free for your record. Got several questions. Mr. Clark, the judge asked and confirmed that the tapes are placed on the wall of the public
Yes,
Okay? And, do you have access to these tapes?
when,
Now? I mean, maybe not this precise minute, but
yeah, they are filed away, yes, they are.
okay. Are they with you or with the circuit clerk? Your
They're in the election commissioner's office.
They're in the election commissioner's
Right.
office, okay? And wouldn't they be considered part of the ballot box material, the tapes?
The ballot box.
I mean, you need that, let's think about this for a minute. If I'm gonna have a ballot box, and I make this election machine, and, we're putting the material in the box from each precinct, the tapes would be in there with the disc and everything, or the flash drive and everything else, right, the ballots? Wouldn't?
No,
And why not?
because it's two separate issues. The ballot box, when it goes down, has the ballots, the raw ballots in it. And those tapes are generated at the election precinct. And they are placed in the ballot, the media bag, which is received on election night. And after the tabulation of the media sticks and the opening and closing tapes still remain in the media bag. Once they're tabulated and finished with for that particular night, on election night, they're placed back. They're placed back in the media sticks and all, or in the vault at the circuit clerk's office.
What'd you say? Now, is there, so there's, let's talk about District 2 for just a moment. You mentioned the flash drives and media disks. The thing that I'm just so confused about is that in this red bag that we have, or orange bag that we have all of these flash drives from the election on August 8th. That's right?
Right.
Okay, but we don't, we can't isolate, we haven't isolated the ones from District 2, have we not? Because they're all mixed together in there.
They're all mixed together.
Okay? And the flash, the media, so the zero tapes and all of the other machine tapes that we saw in the bag there, they were from August 17th, not August 8th, right?
They were from August 8th and August 17th. Not the August 17th tapes are from the resolution board and the ballots that was counted from the resolution board, which would be the absentee ballots as well as the affidavit ballots.
What I gathered, correct me if I'm wrong, but I gathered on the video when they were looking at the tapes, that the dates on the tapes were August 17th and there was no mention of August 8th.
Because there was a mention of August on the one that I saw from precinct 76. It said August 8th, and then it went down to the bottom of it, the closing tape, and that tape that said August 17th were the tapes that the resolution board, or those ballots that was counted on that particular day as a result of the resolution board.
Okay. All right.
Let's move on, council.
Madam President,
You may.
Can I see what you showed?
What's your objection?
Judge, he's attempting to get the witness to read a portion of the statute, which is improper.
A portion of the statute?
Only statute.
I just figured that if I'm going to ask him a question about his.
Is this something that he went over on cross?
Is it?
You may,
Best I can tell now. Let's see. Now approach the witness.
you may. Your objection noted for the record, so for real. You don't have to keep your voice up, Mr. Wilson, because you have to take it down.
You can hold on to this if you want to. I've got a copy over here. Mr. Clark, I've handed you a copy of Mississippi Code section 2315-911. Is that correct?
Yes,
And it's the 2024 version. Is that correct?
that's what it says.
Okay. And if you look on the very last page, it says amended by laws 2017. Is that correct? Middle of the last page.
Yes.
Okay. So these would have been the laws in force in 2023. Would you mind reading the first complete sentence in subsection A?
The first sentence. When returned for the box and the contents of the ballot box and the conduct of the election has been canvassed and reviewed by the County Election Commission. In the case of general elections or in county executive committees, in the case of primary elections, all of the contents of the box is required to be placed and sealed in the ballot box by the poll managers shall be replaced therein by the election commissioners or the executive committee, as the case may be. And the box shall be forthwith resealed and delivered to the circuit clerk's office, who shall safely keep and secure the same against any tampering.
There we go. That's the first sentence. Okay. But I mentioned that because you talked about how there was no statute to require any resealing of things. Now, talk about those flash drives. If there's no seal on the back and there's no laws about who has contents or contains or takes the bag from one person to another, is there any way that it can be determined that a flash drive hasn't been switched or otherwise lost or replaced?
Repeat.
Oh, wrong question. Referencing Mr. Archie's District 2, did you see the finished votes on the recapitulation when they were counting the ballots and all of that yourself, Mr. Archie?
Say that again.
Regarding Mr. Archie's August 8th election, did you see the ballots being counted or the flash drives being computed, or did you watch every single step from the time of the election to when the recapitulation happened?
On election night? On election night, I did witness from the beginning, from when I got there, from the beginning of the tallying of the vote on election night until the completion.
But after
And that included ballot being counted. The ballot is being counted at the precinct.
Okay. Attended the witness.
May this witness be full and finally excused.
Yes, you may, Your Honor. I suppose since he's not in the best, not feeling well, is he going to be excused from the board also?
I am going to excuse him.
That's fine, Your Honor.
I know that back there with you all in chambers, and you indicated that he would be excused.
That's fine. I wanted to make sure that was the case.
Okay.
I have no objection, Judge. Commissioner Clark, can excuse me.
Mr. Clark, you're fully and finally excused.
Thank you. Counsel.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Clark has been excused for medical reasons. Who would you call next, counsel?
All right, our next witness, Your Honor, is going to be the circuit clerk, Mr. Zach Wallace.
To be here?
Can tell you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wallace, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Next.
Just one second. Well, Ms. Wallace, good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name for the record, if you don't mind.
Zach Wallace,
All righty. Now, Ms. Wallace, what is your occupation?
Hinds County Circuit Clerk.
Okay. And how long have you been the circuit clerk?
This is my 11th year as Circuit Clerk.
Okay. And what are your general duties as circuit clerk?
My general duties is I'm responsible for all the filings for circuit and county court, civil and criminal, registered voters, registered medical license, and absentee voting.
Okay. And you are, I guess, could we call you the chief officer of this court for this county?
Yes,
Okay. So it's a very high honor and a very, I know you're a modest person, but it's a very high honor to be circuit clerk, isn't it?
I guess so.
Because you're being entrusted with an awful lot, are you not?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I have in my hand, just for the record, the court docket as of this morning. You have an objection to that, Jim?
No, sir.
May I approach the
You
witness?
may.
I was just going to let you look that over. That's just the court docket from, for this matter. Is that a true and correct certified copy of the court docket as of this morning?
Yes.
Okay, ask that to be admitted as plaintiff's exhibit number 31.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
There being no objection, that it be received into evidence as an exhibit to his testimony. That P31.
Yes, Your Honor. If I may approach the witness.
Would you say? P. Okay. is that? Keith?
His
What is it?
Plaintiff's Exhibit 32, the trial is his subpoena to be here.
All right, let it be received into the evidence of the exhibit to his testimony. That's his subpoena to be here.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Wallace. There's a paragraph there that says you are also hereby ordered to bring with you. Would you mind reading the indented paragraph that starts with all items in your possession?
All items in my possession, all items in your possession, custody or control that pertain in any way the primary election for the Democratic nominee for Hinds County, Mississippi Supervisor District 2 that was conducted on or about August 8th, 2023, including but not limited to ballot boxes, thumb drives, ballots, absentee, affidavit, express, etc., voting machine tapes and reports, tally sheets, machine tapes, all used and unused ballots, and ballot accounting forms, etc.
Okay. All right. Now, this is motion. All right. May I approach the witness?
What is it, Mr.?
Judge, I don't know where we're going with this. I mean, he got in the NBC entry. I don't think you need to do that because,
I'll make that decision.
right, I mean, he got in his subpoena, now he's trying to get him a motion twice.
Your Honor,
I'm going to allow him to go into your objection noted for the record.
Thank you, Judge.
may I approach the witness?
You may.
Would you mind identifying to the court and to the court reporter what I've just handed you?
Document number 159 and case number 23-517, motion to quash trial subpoena.
Okay. Is that the motion to quash the trial subpoena that your attorneys filed with respect to this subpoena?
Yes.
Okay. And as it be admitted, the next exhibit on the list, I believe it's plaintiff 33.
SBP 33.
Now, I call to your attention paragraph 2 of the motion to quash. I would ask you to read that paragraph into the record.
The subpoena at issue demands production of voluminous amount of information, none in which is in possession, custody, or control of Mr. Wallace. The items sought by subpoena are in the possession, custody, or control of the Hinds County Election Commissioner and stored at a building designated by the Hinds County Board of Supervisors as the office and respiratory records for the County Election Commission. Thus, Mr. Wallace has nothing to bring to trial that is responsive to the subpoena.
Okay. Is that still the case today?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Wallace, are you familiar with Section 2315-911 of the Mississippi Code?
No, I'm not.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
Now, Mr. Wallace, I would like for you to, there's a variety of exhibits. There's some here, Tom. Yeah.
Read the returns for a box and the contents of the ballot box and the conduct of the election has been canvassed and reviewed by the county election commissioner in the case of general elections or the county executive committee. In the case of primary elections, all the contents of the box required to be placed and sealed in the ballot box by the poll manager shall be replaced therein by the election commissioners or executive committee, as the case may be, and the box shall be forthwith sealed and delivered to the circuit clerk, who shall safely keep and secure the same against any tampering.
Okay?
Judge, can you finish reading for the sake of completeness for the record?
Sure, you want to read the whole statute?
No, I'm just like.
Wait a minute, you two.
Just my issue is reading the first sentence of paragraph A does not convey the entire
You
intent.
got him on direct. You'll have an opportunity on cross to have him read the rest of it if he so desires.
And then it goes on to say, okay, I want you to read subsection C in its entirety.
The examination shall be concluded in the presence of the circuit clerk or his or her deputy, who shall be charged with the duty to see that none of the contents of the box are removed from the presence of the clerk or in any way tampered with. Upon the completion of the examination, the box shall be resealed with all its original contents inside. And if any contest or complaint before the court shall arise over the box, it shall be kept intact and sealed until the court hearing, and another ballot box, if necessary, shall be furnished for the precinct involved.
Sorry for moving that.
Are you fine?
I want you to pay close attention to what we just read just a second ago about, and if any contest or complaint before the court shall arise over the box, it shall be kept intact and sealed until the court hearing, and another ballot box, if necessary, shall be furnished for the precinct involved. That's what you just read, correct?
Yes.
Now, I'd like to ask, I've got the petition here that was filed. May I approach the witness?
Isn't that in evidence?
It's not in evidence, so I was going to ask you to introduce him there.
Any objection to?
Judge, my objection goes to my motion earlier this morning, that even this document doesn't have the two certificates of attorneys as required, and so within you already ruled on that, I'm good with it.
Okay. Your objection is, your previous objection is noted for the record.
What I'm saying is, this document,
Give it to Dave. She's gonna put it in the evidence. Is that gonna be P-34?
P-34. I may approach the witness.
You may. And, we'll stand on this side.
So the microphone will be
Yeah.
there. Wallace, you would agree with me that there is now an election contest going on, right?
Yes.
Okay. And David L. Archie is the only candidate who is moving for an election contest, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the things, I want to just pull this up at random, paragraph 13, we discussed the ballot boxes, how, would you agree with me that this, we'll look this over first of all, and tell me, does this call into question all of the ballot boxes in the election? Take your time with me, please. Let's get to whatever you're asking. All right. All right, so for example, paragraph 8 talks about the examination of the ballot boxes showed that a great number, specifically 26 out of 26, contained voted paper ballots. Meaning the ballot boxes still have machines, paper votes in them. And that the examination of the ballot boxes showed that a great number of precincts, specifically 26 out of 26 precincts, were missing the machine text. We can go on and on and on. Would you agree with me that all the ballot boxes are in question by way of our petition?
For District 2.
For District 2, oh, that's right. By the way, Mr. Wallace, did you have occasion to go with Mr. Archie to the Supreme Court to file those papers after they were filed at your office?
Say that again, ma'am?
On the day the petition was filed,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Archie took his petition to your office, and did y'all not go to the Supreme Court to file it so that we could alert them that we needed a special judge?
I'm not sure how I got up there. I think that day we probably emailed it or something.
But
I don't
anyway.
know exactly what happened, but it went to the Supreme Court
Okay.
the same day.
And that is a true and correct copy of what is in your office that Mr. Smith
No,
gave.
the judge was objecting, it's not a true or fair copy of what's in his office. What's in his office by statute has a red line with the case number, the document number, the date was filed, the number of days. That document you just admitted does not comply with his reporting rules as a circuit clerk.
The objection is noted for the record, it's overruled. Continue.
Now, when Mr. Archie was filing the petition the day after the cyber attack, you were still having issues with your computers, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's why it was a 59 on the docket, correct? Let me get the docket.
The number's on.
Let's see the docket. I believe, let me see. Oh, yes. No, I'm not talking about the petition. I believe in the docket at some point. Oh, yes. Docket number 59 was the petition. And the reason why, you notice, one of the first things filed, y'all didn't enter it into.
Don't you two talk to each other, talk loud, that way she can take you down.
Okay. Mr. Wallace, docket number, what is the docket number for the petition here?
59.
But that's the first thing, along with the civil cover sheet and the court bond, that's the first thing that was filed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why would there be a 59?
Maybe because of the cyber attack, the number was off. Because we had to figure out a way to file in the system.
Okay. So, the point I'm getting at is, on the day that, go back to the petition.
because there was so many things going on, and for some reason, I think I recall calling the Supreme Court clerk at the time, and I had to figure out a way to give it a case number.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So what I'm getting at is with all the confusion from the computer being down and everything, and you've got a huge file here that is 130 pages, it's possible that a page or two might not have gotten scanned, right?
Possible.
Okay.
Possible. Yeah.
Now, let's go back to what we discussed. We've established that this is an election contest. And it is a complaint or a contest before this court, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And it is arisen over the contents of every ballot box in this election, correct?
Yes.
Okay? And we are told under this statute that it shall be kept intact and sealed until the court hearing, and another ballot box, if necessary, shall be furnished for the precinct involved. Is that correct?
Correct.
And it also says in paragraph A that you're supposed to have custody of the ballot box and all the material and all of that, correct?
Correct.
But you're testifying to the court today under oath that you don't have that stuff anymore.
Not anymore. I never had possession of it. It's just the setup of the county.
Okay.
We're in two different buildings.
So that completely destroys the chain of custody, correct?
I would say yes.
Okay. Works. All right. At this moment, Your Honor, I would like for the court to take judicial notice of the case of Supreme Court case of Waters versus Ganini. It's Supreme Court number 2004 EC 00007 SCT. It's from about 20 years ago. And in paragraph 62 of the petition, I'm sorry, for the opinion, or paragraph 63. Okay. Well, we'll get back more into this in a minute, but I have this petition, this case here, because what it's going to show is that the circuit clerk is supposed to have maintained complete control of the case and the materials and the docket, of the ballot box and everything. And by virtue of the fact that they has lost that, then the exhibits contained therein now have zero evidentiary weight, and it's impossible for Mr. Archie to, it's deprived Mr. Archie of his ability to prove that fraud may or may not have happened, and as a result, under the Ganini case, that reason alone is enough to have this election thrown out. Just to let you know that. And I've already given him a copy of the case, if I may give you a copy.
You can give him a copy.
Oh, I'm giving him a copy.
You have a copy.
This was your courtesy copy.
Give it to him.
Now, Mr. Wallace, we have various video exhibits that you were involved in, may have been involved in, and I was going to play a few of them and get them to be introduced for you, if that's possible.
We're not playing it in doc video. You can ask him questions about it. We're not playing it again.
No. I mean, there's other videos that I have that he may have been
okay.
involved in. I'm not going to be cumulative and play the videos.
Okay.
All right, let's look at this
abstain.
Of course, if you had a contract, it would be in your official records, would it not?
No, sir.
It wouldn't?
No. I don't have anything to do with the contracts.
Okay. One moment. All right, Your Honor, I've got two exhibits I want to introduce for you, if you don't mind, Your Honor.
Beg pardon?
I've got two exhibits, video exhibits I'd like to introduce.
Your witness.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at exhibit 2, if you don't mind. That was the extent of that video, Your Honor. Is that, do you recall having that conversation?
No.
Well,
I couldn't really understand everything I was saying.
okay. Well, I can turn it up louder if I need to.
I just have a bad voice, that's all.
Well, do you remember being with those people then?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
do remember.
And is that, based on your recollections, you talking to these people?
Yes.
Okay. I've asked this to be admitted at Plaintiff's Exhibit 2.
Any objection?
Continuing.
What's the number?
Number 2.
Okay. P2.
Since you,
This be marked and received into evidence as an exhibit to his testimony.
and since you were having trouble hearing your voice, in it you said that the people there, that the committee had that there was a contract. Okay. Now let's move to Exhibit 3.
Mr. Zach explained to me that the county has a contract that authorizes them to assist the parties for their primary elections. He's provided me, Mr. Zach has given me the standard contract. What I'm requesting of Mr. Zach is to provide me with a contract that's executed for that particular election on August 8th.
Primary 2023.
Because, this is just a standard agreement, but it does not specify if they actually went into contract for this election. So if that's possible, I'd like to keep this if I could, but I certainly would like to have an executed. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Now, Mr. Wallace, is that you in that video?
Yes.
There? Okay. And do you remember handing her this unexecuted contract?
I don't remember, but I see that I gave her something.
And you would agree that as an unexecuted contract, nobody has signed any contract that you've given us, right?
To be honest with you, I never read a contract, and I probably got the contract from one of the election commissioners.
Okay.
And they probably handed it to me at that time, and I handed it to her.
So as far as you know, then, there was no contract in force between the Democratic Executive Committee and the election commissioners to conduct the 2023 District 2 primary with David Archie. Is that correct?
I can't say for sure.
Well, you can't produce a contract, can you?
No, I cannot. No.
Okay. And if you were to go look for a contract now, would you be able to find one?
I will contact the board or I'll contact the election commission to see if they have a contract in their records.
Okay. And you've had this subpoena since February 4th?
I don't know what day.
Okay.
Any objection?
Continue objection.
Okay, you have a continued objection that it be marked and received into evidence as an exhibit testimony.
Now, Mr. Wallace,
Wait a minute, that's P what?
P4.
P4. And what is P4?
P4 is the video we just showed just a moment ago. It's the one where Mr. Wallace is saying that it's not uncommon for these.
Okay.
Mr. Wallace, you explained in this video that by law, your office is supposed to have possession of these ballot drives, these flash drives, at all times, right?
Yes.
Okay? And yet, you said in this video it's not uncommon for you to let these these flash drives be with other people.
Correct.
Okay? Of course, that breaks the chain of custody, does it not?
I would say no.
Why not?
Because if I have them locked up in my vault, and depending on who asks for them, maybe someone from the parties or the election commissioners, I think they have to process it some kind of way with the software system. So,
Do you keep a log of who asked for these drives?
I don't keep a log,
Okay.
but have to be a certain person though.
All right. But at the same time, though, you saw what the statute said.
Right.
The statute said that you're supposed to keep it in your office at all times, right?
Yes.
Okay. And to prevent it from being, so they can be prevented from being tampered with, right?
Correct.
And it's your testimony that 2.5 years later, you have no idea where these materials are.
They should be at the election commissioner's office.
But that's, as far as you know, speculation. Based on your personal knowledge, Mr. Wallace, do you know where these ballot boxes are?
I would say yes, at the election commissioner's office.
Okay? But they're not in your office.
But they're not in my office.
And that's a violation of the statute, right?
I won't say that, no.
I'll leave it to the judge to decide, I guess. Be that as it may. Let's move to the next video. And I've already asked you to do this. Make sure.
Do you have anything else for this one?
I do. Yes, I've got some more videos. Let's look at.
I only said 2 videos, Judge. 2 belong to 6, so we'll go on with that.
A little bit of exaggeration.
You got leeway.
Let's move now to exhibit number 8.
Yes.
All right, ask that be admitted as, get my number straight, Judge. Number of plaintiff's A.
SB 8.
Same petition does as to authenticity and, hearsay.
So moved.
Before I get into that video, let me ask you this question. What did you bring today from your office related to the District 2 election on August 8th, 2023?
Nothing.
Okay. The one that David Archie's contest, right?
Correct.
Okay. Even though you were under subpoena to bring that, you didn't bring it?
No.
All right. Now, on that petition, on that, the blue transport bags, what are those? Explain what those are.
Those are the canvas bags, but the district commission will correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think canvas bags.
Okay. And are they supposed to contain what are they supposed to contain?
I don't know.
You're the chief election officer of the county, you don't know what's supposed to be in a blue transport bag?
I can't say right now.
Okay.
Right now.
What about voter register signature books? Should they be in there?
At a particular time, yes, but I know that some material will be taken out to be processed. So that's why I can't say what's all should be in the bag.
All right, so this is from the canvass that happened, I believe, on August 23rd, is that correct? Does that sound about right? It was after the election.
Yes,
right?
after the election,
Okay.
yes.
All right, and during that canvass, why would there not be, I mean, you heard the video, there was things missing. Why would there not be complete voter register signature books in that bag?
It's a possibility that they were being processed or they was taken out of the bag to keep everything together.
But why would they need to be processed if they've done the recapitulation 10 days earlier?
I can't answer that. That's for the election commissioners.
Okay. Keep going. We'll move now to Exhibit 12. Oh, by the way, I asked that, if I haven't already, that 8 was exhibit, is that correct?
It was.
Well, in middle school, does that. Well, in middle school, no, in District 2, no, in District 2. That's not District 2. That's not. Oh, here it is. Must be back and forth. It's saying District 2. Let me see. Pull this one down, let me see if that, I know that's not District 2. That's not District 2. Yeah, but I'm saying, where is District 2? Oh, so they just got them scattered out. Let's see if I found District 2's.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor asked this to be admitted as P12.
Continue.
P12 will be admitted into evidence.
Now, let's talk about this for a minute. Is that the room where you store your election machines?
Yes.
Okay. And y'all found, you heard Mr. Archie in there talking and saying he couldn't find any District 2 machines. You heard him say that?
Yes.
Now, my question to you is, did you find any District 2 machines in there?
I can't say. I don't know.
But you didn't correct him. You didn't say, hey, here's one, here's one. You didn't see that, right?
Right.
Okay. So y'all found every district but District 2 in your machines there, right?
I can't say that. I don't know.
Who lost those machines?
Objection to the cause of speculation. The machines were lost.
Well, they're not in the right place, right?
Hold up. The objection's overruled.
Thank you. Who lost those machines?
I can't say they were lost.
Well, why are they not where they're supposed to be?
I can't answer that.
You're the circuit clerk, Mr. Wallace.
No. Yes.
Buck stops with you, does it not?
No, it doesn't stop with
Well,
me.
it doesn't.
No.
What else I have, Ron? I inadvertently skipped number 9, so we're going to go back to P9.
P9.
Yes, Your Honor, it's P9. Now, is that you looking at those blue transport bags? Is that right?
Yes, that's me.
All right. What are you doing in that video?
I'm probably looking for a particular bag.
Okay. Is it fair to say that you might have been looking for the District 2 transport bags?
Probably so. Yes, it's fair to say. Yes.
Well, shouldn't the transport bags have already, why would the transport bags be missing?
I won't say they probably were missing. They probably were placed somewhere else. Now, if that video might show, I probably didn't find it. If I asked one of the list commissioners to locate it, they probably found it later or gave me an explanation why it wasn't in that particular box.
Now, let me clarify a previous question I just asked you a while ago. I said, the buck stops with you, and the reason I asked that was because you're the circuit clerk, you're the elected official, and whatnot. But, of course, you can only be responsible for what's given to you. Is that right?
Yes.
But once something's given to you, you have the responsibility to secure it and keep it from tampering, right?
Yes.
Okay.
With the help of the list commissioners. I might add that.
Okay. All right. Let's carry on with some other things. So let's get at 14.
P14.
P14, Your Honor.
You got to go through the line. So you have to do it. This way, okay, right. That way, it's kind of pull it out. You know, the line, and it'll say, oh.
Yes, sir. I totally agree.
But I was there, he did it. Okay, that's not, someone comes back, like this line.
Yes.
Ask this be admitted as P14.
You got to continue to object. P14 will be received into evidence as an exhibit to his testimony.
Now, Mr. Wallace, I believe a technician was showing the proper placement of seals. Let's talk about seals for a moment. How do those seals work from a mechanical standpoint?
I don't know. I don't want to make up anything.
All right. But, you know, in that particular video, seals are supposed to go over the lock, and when you remove it, it should say void.
Yes.
Okay. Let's look at the next exhibit, number 15.
Is that P15?
All right, and that's you in the video also, right?
Yes.
Ask that be admitted as P15.
Same. P15 be marked and received into evidence. You have a continuing objection.
If you look at that ballot box in that video, does the seal cover the lock?
No.
So it's in the wrong place.
I would say yes.
Okay. And did the seal void when you opened?
I don't recall. I don't recall.
All right. Go to the next video. And Your Honor. Go to the next video, Your Honor.
Big pardon?
Next video we'll be doing is P19.
P19.
I'm sorry, P7. What exhibit was that right there?
The last one was 15.
All right, this will be number 17, I'm sorry.
P17.
This will be P17.
B-17 will be received into evidence.
You didn't record a log, did you? I didn't see you record the number down on the log for the chain of custody, did you?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Be what, 8?
D18.
18.
Now, this one actually sealed up. This one sealed. I don't know, it looked like it was lifted. It's still back on. But go ahead. Yeah. And then the Jim tab up, you can see 86.
And you were a part of that video, correct?
Yes.
Ask this be admitted as D18.
B-18 will be marked and received into evidence.
Now, Mr. Wallace, was the box locked?
I think the box was locked.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think I used the key to open it.
Okay. But that seal was mighty flimsy, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Right. So it was an improper seal.
Check as to use the word improper.
Well, if it's flimsy, then it ain't working.
Wait a minute. The objection's overruled.
Thank you.
How many more of these videos you gonna put in? Are they all showing the same thing?
No, there's some more different ones. But those are different boxes. Some of those are different boxes.
Different boxes?
Yes, sir. But as of right now, I think I've got maybe 4 or 5, very short videos. They're all short. But I'm on that's number 18. I've got 19, 21, 23, and 28. 28 should wrap it
Let's
up.
go ahead and put them in, and then we're gonna take a lunch break.
Yes, sir. Number 19.
Yeah. That's what he's doing, like what she's doing now.
19 is in evidence.
Okay. Now let's talk about that.
You got your objection.
Thank you, Judge.
That is the warehouse storage area where all the ballots, including District 2 Supervisor David Archie's ballot boxes and machines were being stored, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who are the people? If I were to look at that video again, could you identify by name every single person in there?
No.
Okay. So as a result, because you can't identify the people there, you don't know what security measures are taken as far as who can come in and look at that stuff and get stuff out.
I would say, yes, I can.
So what are the security measures you have to ensure that the people that are in there are supposed to be in there and not people off the street?
From my understanding, only certain people have access to that building, and only certain people is allowed to be in the building at certain times.
That's not the circuit clerk's fault, though, right?
No, that's not, no.
Okay. All right, next one, Your Honor, we have is Exhibit 21. We're almost done.
What the number?
P21.
21. Your Honor, that Mr. Wallace was, you're in that video, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Ask that be admitted as P21.
P21 be admitted into evidence.
Okay. Again, we have another seal that's not over the lock, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we have a seal that didn't void when you opened it.
I'm not sure about the void.
Okay. But it was flimsy in the
Yes.
sense that it was not adhesive. It wasn't adhesive, it wasn't stuck.
Correct.
Okay. And you did apply a new seal, but you didn't record it in the law, right?
Correct.
Your Honor, since it is official lunchtime, or I don't have that many more videos to go, but since we're going to be bringing you back anyway, if you want to break for lunch right now, it's fine with me. But you just tell me how
Well,
you want.
right now, everybody else is there, so we will continue for a few more minutes in
Okay.
that way.
I just didn't want to impose on you or on the.
No, you're not imposing upon me.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. All right, last that being is P21, I believe.
P21 is admitted.
Now let's look at P23.
Yes.
Ask that be, is exhibit number
P23.
323. Now, I know the audio is not particularly good, but I do want you to focus near the end there. We're talking about precincts that were not in District 2, but were somehow involved in that count there. Do you have any information or context for that?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Then I think we'll move through the last video I have. The B28.
Absentees, on list 8 absentees. And what is this up here, is that?
Application, more applications, for the application and the absentee envelopes.
And that's segregated in all these boxes. Oh, yes.
Scan ballots.
These are scanned ballots. Duplicate ballots. And most of them, they put them together, right? They're not separate. Thank you, sir, for that. All right. All those 8 absentees, affidavits, 7.
Mr. Wallace, that is you in the video, correct?
Yes.
Ask that be admitted as exhibit 28, P28.
P28 be admitted into evidence as an exhibit to the testimony and your continuing objection.
Mr. Wallace, where are you at in this video?
I'm in the Hinds County Circuit Clerk's office in the vault.
In the vault. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. The boxes of absentee ballots, are there any security measures on those boxes?
Yes.
I mean, on the boxes, I don't see a seal. Is there any seals?
No, there's no seals on the boxes, but in my office, I have a camera on my door and I have a locked vault.
Okay, you have a locked vault. But focusing on the box itself, you agree with me, there is no seals on those boxes.
Correct, no seal.
Okay. All right. And these are all mixed up, District 2's mixed up with all the other districts, is that right, on the absentee ballots?
Yes.
Okay. So you couldn't identify, when y'all were in there, you couldn't identify the District 2 boxes from the other districts, right?
No.
Okay. Your Honor, I may have more questions to ask him, but those are the last videos I have.
Before we break for lunch, Mr. Wallace, the votes in those boxes had already been tabulated, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. We're going to be in recess until 1:45. you all can